We'll get into the whys and where nots and the highs and lows or whatever of the coronation of a new monarch here in the UK. For those watching abroad, that's what we have had all day. I was expecting a nicer fly past. That's what I was interested in. But we had bad weather, so it didn't happen. But if you're watching us on Twitter, on Getter, on Rumble, on the website, on CloudHub, DLive, or if you're listening after on Podbean or the podcasting apps, or watching later on BitChute or Brand YouTube or Odyssey, it is great to have you with us. Twitter is good, Getter is good, and I am sure everything else is good. As always, on Getter, drop your comments in the side, let us know how you're watching, where you're watching. And it is always good to have a new guest on, and it's good to have Karli Bonne with us today. Karli, thank you so much for joining us.
Wonderful to be here. I was saying to you before we started to be speaking with someone with that beautiful British accent on Coronation Day, and I took the liberty to ask you for apologies in advance for any memes or anything that I might have posted that you would find offensive. But it's all good. We discussed it and we understand each other perfectly. It's all in jest. But congratulations. This is historic day.
It is. And certainly, I know that you always speak your mind, and any jest and good humor and mocking is always welcome. So people can find you at Karli Bonne on Getter and Truth, and Karli Bonita on Twitter, and Real Karli Bonne on Telegram. You already forgot there. They find you on Telegram, and you. I just feel bad bringing you on because I think you're just up day and night posting. So I feel bad cutting into your proper job.
I've been doing this a long time. This is a new Twitter account. I've had like 8 in the past. Elon Musk or his team reinstated one of my accounts, Midnight Rider, but I no longer possess the phone that I did it on doesn't work. I don't have the email or the password, so I just stare at it. I look at it. I go on Twitter and say, "Oh, there's my old account," and I wave to it. I can't do anything with it. And a dear friend from the Keystone channel, when I finally got kicked off of Twitter for the last time, started my Telegram account for me, and now recently she started this Twitter account. And they can't get me because she lives in Mexico now, where she used to live in Europe. So, I'm biding my time. I haven't even been on like a full week, and it's like you're on Twitter when you've been kicked off so many times. You're like, you're constantly looking over your shoulder. When are they going to take me down? I already got an 11-hour timeout. I got smacked on the hand because I called Brian Kilmeade on Fox News a whore.
Oh.
But, I didn't, it was a lovingly. No, because, he does like 100 different shows.
Yeah.
He does radio. And anytime there's an open slot, they stick his head in. And Tucker's seat wasn't even cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they popped him in there. And, I don't think it was just me. I think all of America was just livid over this, and to put him in there,
yeah.
I guess, and then, he's had a few words about Steve Bannon, and that really set me off. So the timeout was worth it, and they didn't make me take down the tweet. So
wow.
Brian Kilmeade is still a whore.
Here, give us a minute of your background. We were chatting before. Obviously, you said what you're doing is fairly recent, although you're a master of editing those videos. But what was your life leading up to that?
Well, as I told you, I was a wannabe rock star. My whole life, I wanted to do acting or singing or modeling. I've tried it all. Did a lot of extra work. I sang at a Russian restaurant for almost 30 years of my life, every weekend, every holiday, every New Year's. And so that was something I would imitate Marilyn Monroe. I had different characters I would do. And in between that, rock bands. We discussed how I lived in London for a couple of years trying to make it in music. And that was back in the day when we had People's Express Airlines, and it was only $99 to fly to London.
Wow.
And the dollar was almost equal with the pound. So I had the most glorious wardrobe shopping in Kensington. And I lived in Camden Town. I worked at Dingwall's restaurant in Camden Town. And the big place you wanted to see was the Camden Lock, which was this little waterway with a little bridge and little canoes going through. That was the tourist attraction in Camden Town.
Still
And
is.
when all of that, failed, and I kept trying, I started, because I was posting my music. I started with MySpace and Facebook, and then all of a sudden this whole thing with politics started, and I was like, who is this Trump guy? I mean, I loved him on TV, always made me laugh, and then I was like, they keep attacking this guy. There's something up with that. And I've been a Trumper ever since. And I have 3 phones, and I just post and post and post and get the videos out there. Telegram is a great
It is.
app because I can edit the videos right on Telegram, which saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
And this is just what I do now. I try to make people laugh. I keep them informed. I use the Telegram as almost like an aggregator. I post everything on there. A lot of people say, well, why do you post clips from Fox? And I'm like, because it's basically the only app that lets me rip the video.
Yeah.
Where I tried it with CNN, MSNBC, you can't do it. They have it blocked. You can't screen record. And I do everything from an iPhone. I have 3 little mini computers on my bed, and I work, like this. I put the big glasses on, and this is what I do. But I enjoy it. There's a lot of wonderful people that support me and use the videos. It's all good.
Oh, I love having that Telegram and getting all those clips that you put out. So, but let's jump in to the news. And as I said, today was a huge day in British history, and I also get all the huge issues and pushback on all the WF stuff, everything else, and I get that. But I do love the pageantry which is in the UK. So Projam, can we play the first video? Just let's play that.
God save the King! God save the King!
And it goes on. That's a little. But what were your thoughts as someone across the pond? We obviously Queen Elizabeth, after such a long time, passed away. But kind of, how do you view those type of events? Is it with curiosity? Is it mocking even? Tell us, Karli.
Well, I mock everything. I have no mercy. I mock everything. But I've always the pageantry is beautiful, and you like the intrigue. I'm not a big Crown fan. I don't watch the series or anything like that. I do love period pieces because I love the costumes. I love the clothing. You love all the gold and the diamonds, You'd be a liar if you didn't like all that. And, wanted to see what Harry was going to do. And, I had it on the TV, but I was too busy making memes about it. So I'm sorry. But no, it was beautiful. I woke up just in time to see Charles crowned. And there it is. It's done. And now tonight, which I find pretty amazing, they're going to have the big concert. And all the people in this concert are American performers.
Yep. Yeah.
What does that say? Here's your new king, who's very big with the WEF and the climate and all the stuff you would think labor and all the lefties would appreciate, where the queen was just like, kept it on the down low. She wasn't vocal. I mean, if you hear Trump's story about her, she said, "Oh, I like everyone. Everyone is wonderful." She was just neutral and just kept the ship sailing. This guy, Charles, has come out and has said things like, we're all going to die. We got to do something about the climate. And, I don't know, is he going to still do this? But the fact that you don't have, where's Adele? Where's Elton John? I mean, why aren't they performing? I mean, this is a real slap in the face by your own people. That we got Katy Perry over there and Lionel Richie. I mean, they had to take the stars from our Idol TV show. No, seriously,
I know.
There's one video out where there was a view of the chapel, and you can see like this figure that looks like he's the Grim Reaper walking across. And I put up, I said, is Gandalf Katy Perry's +1 today? Because that's what they made a big thing. She had a whole article that she was making fun. She couldn't find her seat. We had, they had Jill Biden, the professor, Dr. Jill, the professor, all the way in the back row behind Slavkania. And, she's all the way in the back. Joe Biden couldn't even bother to go. He said last night on his fluff piece interview that he's very busy. He's getting, he wants to finish the job. He's very busy.
Can I bring what actually the president did come. Dr. Jill did come. I think she probably knows what's happening much more than Joe. But this is I did find this funny. Professor Curtains, and this is all to tell us about this, because she does seem to have blur in, and there she is with her granddaughter, and it does look like the Ukrainian flag. In many parts actually did.
Their carpeting was Ukrainian flag colors. Did you see that?
I saw that.
I was like, what is that all about?
I know.
And you have, I am friends with a lot of people that look into things like this and see it as messages. Is there a conspiracy there?
It's
But this account that you're putting up, the Lookout, Rondinelle, Iowa, I inspired her because it seems like everything that Jill Biden wears looks like a piece of furniture or curtains or something. And she did a whole thread over on Twitter with all the different looks, like Jill Biden as a couch. Today they put up, she actually looked a little bit like if they melted them both together, it would have been Snow White's outfit, even with the little bow in the hair. And it's just crazy. And the shower curtains. See, I joke when I put it in a tweet that's like, what is Alice wearing today? The joke is she looks like Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
And we say, and I'll put up an outfit that she has on at the time, and I'll say, okay, everybody, what the hell is Alice Cooper wearing today? Everyone goes nuts, and they do the side-by-side pictures, and it's just become this running gag, and some people have done whole threads. They have found actual tablecloths and curtains and throw rugs and couches and vinyl shower curtains that have matched all her outfits.
It's so
That's very disturbing. This is the first lady. It's very disturbing. Yesterday, she met with Kate, and I believe it was Zelensky's wife.
Yeah.
And they both had solid colors on. They looked very nice. And she came in with this flowered dress. And I said, all they got to do is tip her over and put the tea on top of her and use her as a table, because she looked like she was wearing the tablecloth.
I saw that.
It's so embarrassing.
Well, yeah, you've got many things in your political world are embarrassing. Actually, we also are the same. But this was a clip, I think it was from Fox News you'd posted talking about Biden being rude and anti-British. Let's bring this up. Pro Jam, can you play that little clip?
Respectful here in London. Also missing, of course, along with Meghan Markle, is Joe Biden. Biden is absent from the coronation. I do think this is a very rude signal that Biden is sending to the British people. A lot of unhappiness, certainly on the ground in the UK, with regard to Biden not bothering to attend. And Biden is seen by many Brits as very anti-British.
Really?
Yes.
Hillary.
Look, you see the woman, she said yes, because you realize it was just a week ago he was in Ireland.
I know.
And he had the crowds all swooning, and he can't get crowds like that in his own country. They all sit in little circles.
They actually believe he's the president here, so they do come out. But you're right, he was over in Ireland, and the whole thing was he was in Northern Ireland, and the car, I think someone had posted out, didn't even have a Union Jack on the car, but he went to the Republic of Ireland, and again all the tricolour flags, and it seemed to be two fingers up to Britain. So yeah.
Now, is that question, because you would know this better than I do, the part of Ireland he supposedly is part of, or his lineage or whatever, is this the part of Ireland that doesn't want Brexit? Are they part of Brexit?
So it was part of the Republic of Ireland. So the Republic being a separate country for just over 100 years. So you've got Northern Ireland as part of the UK, United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And you've got the issue with Brexit in Northern Ireland. But the issue is Republic of Ireland rely on the United Kingdom, Northern Ireland for trade. So anything that happens to us hits them. But it's a it's a very...
Yeah, he did one of these.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I know how to curse in British.
But was that reported on at all? His trip over, Biden's trip over to the UK?
Oh yes, they made a very big deal of it. They're saying, "Oh, look how they welcomed him," and meanwhile he was having his usual brain farts. He's there with Hunter, now supposedly Hunter, the broke son, who wants to give less money to his daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. He supposedly slept on a cot while he was in Ireland. I'm like, give me a break. A lot of stuff is hitting the fan. I don't know if that was like their last hurrah trip, and then Jill going to England without Joe. Like Joe is playing it low key, or he's announced that he's running.
Yeah.
So now there's no debates, and they're going to run the basement campaign they did during COVID.
Yeah.
He did a little puff interview last night and even with the editing, it was terrible.
Well, 10 p.m. Was it late at night? 10 p.m. I saw.
Well, I don't know. That it might have been taped. I don't think it was live.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it was definitely after tapioca and close to bedtime.
Yeah.
So I think, they got him. He was still a lunch bag. It's embarrassing. But he has the media covering for him. He has newspapers covering for him.
Yeah.
And now I noticed that I'm on Twitter now. I would always check. They never tweeted for him much. I know he doesn't tweet. The man does not tweet. Okay. He just learned how to take selfies this past year. Because I remember when he started his campaign, he didn't even know how to open the phone. or he was looking to see if it flips open. Okay. But he doesn't tweet, but it seems his staff, they think they're going to get him out there through social media. So today it's been like a tweet storm. I've lowered these costs and I've added these jobs. And it's like every 20 minutes or so, it's a new tweet with some lying stats. And what's great now that Elon purchased Twitter, he's getting community noted to death.
Yeah. Saw that.
You know, he's getting fact checked by the community, not by Politico, not by, you know, all those phony fact checkers that used to fact check all of us. No, it's the community, because this is the town square. This is where we all go. We're all independent. We think independently, you know, and we see that this is a lie. So it's a beautiful thing. Now, this is why they didn't get rid of TikTok. Because if you go over to TikTok, and I'm on my 4th or 5th or 6th account over there because they kept taking me down. They hate Steve Bannon on TikTok.
Yeah.
Hate him. I've lost so many accounts. I got to stop putting up the Steve Bannon videos, you know, and I was like, I'm never going to stop doing that. But it's all these young, with 1 million, 2 million followers, young lefty kids, and they've invited them to the White House. This is, you know, they're going to run their campaign the way they think Donald Trump did in 2016, where it was social media, minus the rallies, because this man can hardly speak and doesn't know when to get on or off the stage or what direction he's going.
I'm just so glad he's announced he's running. It's one of the greatest gifts, I think, to your country and the world. But you mentioned about in the interview, this is the Daily Mail article. Joe Biden claims he couldn't attend King Charles' coronation because he's got a lot going on. And also the interesting thing, this was the editorial piece in the Daily Mail. It says the president dispatched his wife, Jill, to attend the ceremony as place. And I thought it was a beautiful dispatch. It seemed to be quite disparaging, quite mocking. I thought, this is great. The media are getting it, and they're willing to mock him. And I've seen that fairly regularly, where in the first year or so, he could do no wrong. He had slayed Trump. And suddenly they seem to be turning on him and realizing he's an utter disaster.
Well, you know, the Daily Mail, that's a British paper, isn't it?
Yep.
So this is very insulting. I mean, they'll do different articles and stuff that are very good, but they cover the monarchy and everything that has to do with the queen or the king now. And this does not rub them the right way. This is a total 2 fingers up that he didn't go, that he's too busy. Now, I'm sure that the White House didn't use the word dispatched. I'm sure the Daily Mail is taking that a little. That's their wording, you know. I don't think the White House would say that.
Yeah.
And the fact that, oh, he's very busy. Well, he's not busy with AI because Kamala's doing that now. He's not busy with the border because he sent Mayorkas down there. What else is he not busy with? I can't think. And also, he's not busy with press conferences. He doesn't do those.
Yeah.
What is he busy with?
Yeah.
His team is arguing with Hunter Biden's lawyers. Hunter Biden wants to start his own GoFundMe for the lawyers. And Biden's team is like, you can't do that. I mean, we covered for you with the paintings. We couldn't be transparent. You know, you're solo artist, you're out there, you know, who buys your paintings? That's your business. That's separate from the White House. But now you want to start a GoFundMe for your baby mama problems? And now we're finding out, you know, Brennan, the same cast of evil characters with the Russia hoax.
Yep.
Here we go again. They're the ones that were talking to Blinken, and we got an IRS whistleblower. We got other whistleblowers, and it's all bubbling up. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to bring in Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Because how can they really run this guy? They won't let him debate.
Yeah.
They won't let him go out for too long and speak.
Yeah.
They're going to win by tweeting and TikTok. A bunch of kids screaming on TikTok.
Wow. Yeah.
Think about it. I don't think, are they going to have a new kind of COVID?
Don't give them
They're going to
ideas.
have to pull something, because you can see with the polling and with that, even with that softball interview last night, it's utterly embarrassing. And this coronation thing, him not being there, and they're keeping Jill very low profile. They stuck her all the way in the back of the church.
Yeah.
Okay, we have no American media taking, oh, she's so glamorous and look at this, because she's not. She walks like she's been on a tractor for 6 hours. This is not an attractive woman. And Cecil Padway, what kind of stupid thing she's going to talk like this, like, Jersey girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a mess. And, for the life of me, because it's so embarrassing, I can't think like a Democrat and see how the hell do we get out of this mess?
Well, let me bring up, this was the New York Post headline you put up, and this is another thing that Biden is not doing, sorting out the border. A beautiful headline, maxed out with New York City shelters full. Adams buses migrants to Rockland County. Furious officials say this is absurd. We'll not stand for it. I love it the way these Democrat cities and states are actually beginning to feel the heat whenever Texas and Florida and others say, well, enough is enough. How do you view this? Will this force things to happen? Will some of the Democrat voters waken up and realize actually what is happening on the border?
Well, it can't be ignored anymore. And this is maxed out now. And this is before Title 42 is lifted. Meanwhile, they never were really enforcing it. And they're trying to pass a bill to have Title 42 for another 2 years. Because even if it was used for COVID, there's other diseases coming. They have, these tent cities and stuff. They got scabies. We could get an outbreak of smallpox, measles. There's all other diseases. It's not just COVID. And they say, well, it was used for COVID. Well, it should be used for the next 2 years for a lot of things. I've watched videos where they're actually washing lice out of the migrants' hair. This should have been addressed when the first little baby was thrown over the wall.
Yep.
Not Trump's wall, another piece of wall. Someone climbed up there and threw a baby over and left it sitting there.
Yep.
That's when this should have been addressed. When they weren't in cages, they were in plastic tents. And Ted Cruz went down there. That's when it should have been addressed. And they're saying, oh, we have a 6-point plan, 8-point plan. Mayorkas should be thrown out. Actually, the way our country's been so overrun, I consider it treason. And I think Biden should be sent out on a rail. Because this is treasonous. This is invasion of our country. And this has been going on for 2 years. And they're saying Congress has to do something. We didn't have this problem when Trump was president. And you had AOC down there crying next to a fence in a parking lot. And she said, oh, they're drinking out of toilets. Meanwhile, it's in those facilities, the sink is on top. Yeah. And the toilet, it's one fixture. And she, oh, they're drinking out of toilet. Where is she now? Where is she now? They found a young girl was raped so many times. They found 47 or something different kinds of DNA inside of her. Wow. They have lost 87,000 children. Wow. Joe Biden is a child sex trafficker and a child sex trader, slave trader. They're talking about reparations in California. Look at your president, people. You voted for this man. And he is flesh trading your precious migrants that you're all so concerned about. Yep. And now you're saying if the men down there, which is a lot of men, Chinese men, all different countries coming in. If they dress up in drag, they'll be let in immediately. This is the signals they're sending out.
Yeah.
We have warriors that are down there at the Darien Gap and at the border since day one of this nonsense.
Yeah.
Reporting on this. So don't say that this is all new news. We all know about it. America knows about it.
Yeah.
A lot of Democrat senators, governors, mayors, congressmen that are on those border states, they don't want to lose their job.
Mm.
They're speaking up now too. So the fact that they wait at the last minute, you know, it's shameful. It's shameful. I don't want to see anybody in pain.
Well, another thing that's shameful, and you talk about treason, you mentioned it earlier on. This was the headline from Fox News. Biden says Hunter has done nothing wrong ahead of possible indictment. I did listen to him saying that because I thought, no, surely he couldn't have said it. I trust him. I had faith in him, and it impacts my presidency by making me feel proud of him, Biden says of son Hunter Biden. I mean, it's all out there, all the evidence. Again, will the American people get it? Because obviously the last election, this was suppressed and that's all come out. All the information is now out there. What's going to happen? Because it seems as though the net is tightening closer and closer on Hunter.
Well, the fact that he went on there, he's going to stick to it because he's a stubborn, nasty old coot. Okay? A lot of people say, oh, he's got the dementia and stuff. I watch him in different settings where he starts drifting off, but then someone will shout a question at him and he'll turn around and snap and you see the nasty old man.
Yeah.
All right. So I take the dementia with a grain of salt. I think a lot of it's acting, and he's playing the grandpa, love me, Joe, but he's nasty.
Yeah.
This is a nasty white trash family. They're white trash. They're trash. And remember the video when Tucker Carlson interviewed Tony Bobulinski. And Tony Bobulinski, Tucker asked him, he goes, how are they getting away with this? How did they think they were going to get away with this? And Tucker was being honest. He's like, bewildered. You're telling me all these horrible things and you got proof and you got emails. How are they getting away with it? And Bobulinski just looked at him and said, plausible deniability. Because they're actors. This man, he said last night, I have the best resume. I've been doing this forever. I know better than anyone. Yeah, knows how to play the system.
Yeah.
Skated through it, kept getting put back in office. You got friends at the unions that are going to pay for the politics and pay to play. And then you bring in other countries. I just hope this whole thing with Comer doesn't turn out to be like Trey Gowdy and Benghazi.
Hmm.
Because here we all thought, oh, we're going to get some. Every time we all thinking we got the popcorn ready and we're going to get some accountability. And then it just disappears. And we have nothing. And the left laughs.
Yeah.
And we're left like just all that energy drained. So I don't get my hopes up. I post what's coming out. I keep everybody up to date with what's happening. And I keep myself up to date. But, I don't get excited anymore. They've broken my spirit. I want to see justice. There's a lot of things we still haven't seen justice for. What happened with Durham? Where is Durham? We made all the memes with, the Punisher shirt. And Durham's coming. He lost 2 cases and then he disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were such low bar cases.
Yeah.
2 nobodies. And there's so many in the hierarchy of as Kash Patel would say, the government gangsters. There's so many at higher levels of power that we have dirt on.
Mm.
That country, the whole world has seen. And no one cares. It's business as usual. And that drives me crazy.
Yep.
Just when I think I can quit and say, oh, everything's good in the world, I can't let it go because it's not been settled. And these people are getting away with things. And every time, this is a funny bit, every time there's new news on some rotten stuff that these people have done, there's a new accusation against Trump. You know, don't look here, look here. But Trump did this, so don't even worry about that. That's, that's Russian propaganda. Look at what Trump did. And then they put out videos of Trump at his deposition, and he's a beast.
I love it.
He's a beast. I've never been one of those women that was like, oh, he said grab him by the, oh, that's terrible. Oh, you're such a liar. You're all liars. You women love it. Everyone wants a man's man. Nobody wants a Bud Light drinker these days. We want real men, especially if the zombie apocalypse comes. You want a real man. So none of that bothers me. And all the phony, they're so phony. All of them that they act prissy and like, oh, it's so horrible. Oh, he's a rapist. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. And they're all, oh, you're so phony. I see right through you. I have to mock you and meme you to oblivion because you're ridiculous. Ridiculous people.
I love watching some of the depositions. I haven't seen it all, but they're so good. There's so many outtakes of it.
He's such a beast. Oh, God. Just when you think you cannot love this man more, it's just, oh, God, I love it. Oh, it's wonderful.
Let's go on to something completely different. This is TikTok, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on, not specifically on this, but on TikTok in general and all the debate. I had to laugh at this. TikTok workers compiled lists of users who browse gay content, which sparked complaints from some employees who were concerned it could be used to blackmail people. Surely not. Well, there's a massive debate at the moment in the US on TikTok and the influence it has. And of course, that leads back to China and whether individuals are in control of China. And this kind of connects with that TikTok gathering information to be used for blackmail. That kind of does connect a lot of the dots, doesn't it? But what's been happening TikTok-wise in the US?
Well, I told you I'm like on my 7th account. They keep taking me down because they don't like Jesse Waters. They don't like Steve Bannon. They don't like Fox News. Now you will get taken down for supposedly disinformation about the climate. And it's basically an LGBTQ playground.
Yep. And
it's sad because, it is a great platform for making videos and things. It really is. It's great. I love using it. And a lot of people say, oh, it's China in my phone. I said, you're worried about China in your phone. Can we be completely honest here, folks? You're worried about China in your phone.
Yeah.
The overlords of our own government are in your phone.
Yeah.
You have Google on your phone? You have Facebook on your phone? We just found out from the Twitter files that the CIA and the FBI were in your private messages. Okay? And you're worried about China? What's China going to do to me that hasn't already been done? Where they released a catastrophic virus. And you're worried about TikTok? This is how I knew they were never going to get rid of TikTok. They went through the motions. Oh, federal employees can't use TikTok. They could go home and use it, but when you're on the job or if you have a federal employee's special phone or something, you can't use TikTok. And it was all the big rage. They had the CEO of TikTok up there. None of these people knew what they were talking about. They know nothing. And another thing, if you've ever been on Discord or any of these other platforms like that, gaming platforms, the CIA's in there. China's in there. I would say MI6 is probably in there. So this is nothing new. Spy versus spy. This is nothing new. So this new thing that they, you know, had a bunch of information. Didn't we just get through a whole bunch of employees from banks that they got hacked and all their information was put out? This, you're going to see this a lot more, especially now we're getting closer to maybe China invading Taiwan, or right now there's a stalemate with the Russian-Ukraine war. We're going to see a lot more cyber stuff go down. A lot more. So who knows? Someone might just take TikTok down all on their own. So I don't worry about it. I just use any outlet I can, whether it's to make videos, post videos, or share videos from. You know, because I got 50 followers now on TikTok when I used to have 20K. You know, it's hard to build up again when they don't like you. They're not going to let people see you. So who does that? The Chinese overlords, or is this now the Democrat Party that's in charge? Because if you look, all the people that say to get off TikTok are not on TikTok. But now AOC, what was it? Watermelon Head Schiff. The minute he got kicked off the Intel committee, he opened up a TikTok account. Was crying over there. You know what I'm saying? These people don't care what you think. They don't care. They don't listen to their own advice because a lot of them know it's nonsense. So I feel bad that people's information is being put out there, but that's it. Look, your bank information could fall into the wrong hands. Look what's happening with the banks collapsing.
Yep.
All right. You know, you're one hack away. All of this reminds me, they took the show off Westworld. Have you watched Westworld?
Yeah, I've watched some of the early ones off it. Yeah.
The last season, it was incredible. They were able to do with sound waves, like they would infect you with a fly, like a fly would fly into you, I guess with nanobots and stuff. And they had a building that you couldn't even see. And it would let off a sound, and it was able to control you. But the season before, the robots or fembots or whatever they were able to hack into the system and show everybody what everybody really thinks of them. Everyone was exposed. There was just one day. Everyone's looking at their phone. The system was hacked. The AI was hacked. And everyone saw the truth, and it became complete anarchy.
Yeah.
People were just killing each other left and right, countries blowing each other up. When everyone finally saw the truth, it was anarchy. Now, what if we all finally got the truth and we weren't all just conspiracy theorists anymore? What if we finally were told the truth? Have they been hiding the truth from us because they're afraid of this kind of anarchy? Or do they just want to keep us dumb cows, tell us what to eat, what stove to buy, what car to buy, pay the taxes so we can have other people tell us what to do? Is that the point of our existence? Or is our existence to ask questions, worship God, have a family, enjoy life, feel the grass under our feet, become one with our beautiful world? Like Elon wants to go to other planets. Let's deal with this one because we got some evil people on this planet.
Yeah.
I told you, I laugh at them. I get kicked off of platforms because I laugh at them. And I record myself laughing at them. It goes viral. And I laugh at them because it's like holy water on a demon. When you make jokes, like the memes are so important that everyone does, because that laughter, it's not only good for the soul, but it exposes the truth. That's why they try to shut down so many comedians. And now the bad comedians are shut down because we got a strike.
No, I saw that. No, but memes are so powerful, and President Trump put up this latest poll, 2024 National Republican primary. Trump 58%. DeSantis 22%, Pence still running 5%, Ramaswamy 5%, Haley 4%, Christie. What are your because he obviously is streets ahead. And what's kind of the process? When do the kind of primaries start, and when? I really can't believe anyone would run against him. As much as I really do like DeSantis and like what he's done in Florida, I don't understand the logic for running against Donald Trump.
Well, from what I've seen in the past, a lot of people get in primaries because they're looking for cabinet jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't expect to be president. Like you had Buttigieg and Kamala and all those people that lined up at the last election. Buttigieg is now in charge of airplanes. Look how good that's working out. You know, you got Kamala. She quit. She was less than 1%. She quit before they even had the primary, and now she's vice president. So sometimes people run, like you saw President Trump put out a Truth Social giving some kudos to Varaswamy.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, so saying, you know, you're doing a good job, you know. He never puts down Nikki Haley, but he goes right after Ron because everyone says, oh, because, you know, he's closer to him in the polls. No. If you know anything about our President Trump, he's been saying it his whole life. If you ever read any of his books or seen old videos of him, you know one thing. He values loyalty. He is a businessman. If you're not loyal, I do something for you, you stay loyal to me. We'll make things work out. He could have made him a DeSantis in 2028 the biggest thing anyone's ever seen.
Yep.
Or even think about vice president. But because he's doing this, now you got people fighting on Twitter. Oh, the DeSantis people or the never Trumper people are now DeSantis people, and that Chris Christie and his fat ass wants to get in. Give me a break. You know, I guess nothing happened when Mike Pence went to give his deposition because I'm sure if there was one iota of damning things that he said, it would be in the news right now.
That's true. Yeah. No, it's
because they love to leak. They love to leak. So when you don't hear anything, that's a good thing. It's a very good thing when you don't hear anything. But Mike Pence, I don't know, is he going to run? Who knows? A lot of these people, I mean, who is it that in California? There's people running that have no chance in hell.
Yeah.
Asa Hutchinson? Are you kidding me? Eraserhead? Get out of here. All right, what does he want to do? Is he running so he can just collect as much money as possible? Then once he doesn't even make it to a primary, he can go and write a book and then do a tour. I ran for president. This is a whole money-making scheme. Beto O'Rourke has run for everything, with his arms flailing in the air, looking like he's on the parking lot of a used car lot. And that's how he makes his money. He's disappeared. Where is he now? They got a new guy that they're pumping up to run against Ted Cruz in Texas. I never heard of the guy, but he looks like one of these bodybuilders, and there's already dirt coming out on this guy.
Yeah.
You know, so bring it, people, because you know what? We do our homework and we will find the dirt on you and not be quiet about it.
Let's move on to there are lots of comments down on Getter. I won't be able to pull them all in. Grace Chang, but hello, good to have you on. I see you're on, many others as well. But let me bring up, this is President Trump visiting Scotland. Poojan, could you just play this for just the first minute or so, but we'll play it anyway.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you.
President Trump, a quick word to the Irish press. What's it like being back in Ireland for the first time since
Well, we've
2018?
done here. This has become a big success. We love it. Special place. You see what happened out there and with the kids, and we help them and they help that. It's really a very special place. Great course, great hotel.
You're here very shortly after President Biden's visit. What did you make of President Biden's visit? What did you make of the crowds?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't see too much of his visit. I don't know what he did here, but this is special, and we're here to pay homage to this great property. This property is revitalized a big part of Ireland, and people happy. And we have incredible people working here, a lot of them too. You see some of them, a lot of them. So it's been great. It's been really great.
There's a lot of use in Ireland, a lot of them paying an awful lot of corporate tax here. Do you think some of that corporate tax, or indeed most of that corporate tax, should be paid in America?
Well, that's an interesting question, but I won't answer that question in your country. But a lot of people would say yes, but Ireland's done a great job. You've lured a lot of companies in, and they love it here. They really love it here. They've been treated well, just like I've been treated well. This has been a great success, and we bought this. It was a great property, but it had to be finished, and we have really completed it, and it's beautiful, and now we'll do some additions. And the course is one of the best courses in the world, actually. One of the best courses with some of the most beautiful dunes in the world. So we've had a good time.
You've had some planning difficulties, though. What do you think of the Irish planning system and the recent refusal of planning permission?
Well, I think we've had very good luck. You know, most of this is built because of planning commission, but what we've wanted to do, I think they've pretty much let us do the important things.
Yeah, there's been a lot of attention on the Northern Ireland post-Brexit trading agreements. How do you think those negotiations are going?
Well, we're going to see. They're negotiating, and we're going to see. But there are a lot of negotiations going on in Ireland and other places right now. But it's going to be a tough one. It's not an easy one. We're going to have to work it out.
We'll cut short President Trump, but sorry, it was Ireland. Sorry, he did do Scotland and then went to Ireland. But
right before that, he was outside with a hat on, and all the kids sang to him.
Yeah.
So I felt bad because he knew his hair was messed up. He knew it. He knew he had that little puff right there, and he wanted so badly to fix it, but he was just like, he's so stoic. You know, he takes the questions. He knows, sometimes they're going to be hard, but he'll say, yeah, and he knows how to direct to something else and say, yeah, but we're doing this and this is good for Ireland. And he's very good. He's, Joe can't do that. Joe can't do that.
But Trump, he always is so good. He takes all the questions. He doesn't bat any way, and he's that personal touch because he knows his stuff. And poor Joe doesn't know what day of the week it is. Never mind knowing about policies, talking to the press.
Well, supposedly Joe was picked by Obama for his. He was good with foreign affairs. And we all see what has happened with the foreign affairs since Joe became president. Okay, if anything, he was good at foreign affairs because he was able to send his son, the bagman, and make some bank for the family. That's why he knew the foreign affairs. He knew who to talk to and where to send the poor kid, who turned out to be pretty rotten. It's just, But Trump, he's a businessman. I love you get Morning Mika and that whole rotten crowd over there on MSNBC, and they're like, oh, he's just a game show host. He's been a businessman. He's been in real estate. Yep. He's worked with the boxing, the casinos. He's not just because he had a great show. All right, because of his status from all the other things that he did. Best-selling books. I mean, come on. They try to really cheapen him because they're so damn jealous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they all loved him when he was a Democrat.
It's true. It's true.
Chuck Schumer was like, come back, when he was running against Hillary at that dinner. And then what did Chuck do? He came out with as many knives and Uzis and whatever else, landmines, anything he could throw at this man to ruin his presidency.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, from a political heavyweight to a media heavyweight, and then we'll just finish off with looking at your U.S. military, gone fully woke. But this is Tucker Carlson. This is just short, 30-second, I think. Pujam can play this and listen to Tucker and his speech. If you can. Or not. this is well, Tucker's line is, I didn't realize how much free time I would have when I accepted this speech. This is first public appearance since his removal from Fox News. But what are your, everyone is speculating, everyone is thinking, what on earth is he going to next? He obviously wasn't expecting it because he said he was going to be on the Monday and then wasn't. And I mean, Tucker could do anything he wanted. So how are you watching this individual who is bigger than really anyone else in the media space?
I'm what, you know, when he posted that video at 8:01 on the first night that the whore Brian Kilmeade was in his slot, and he posted on Twitter, and that tweet of him, you know, just being him and putting out a message to everybody got more views than anything. It was insane.
It was like 25 or 40 million or something. It was some
It went up. I was like, I don't even know where it's at now. It's just redunculous. All right. And he could go anywhere. The question I have is, I would like him to do an interview or put out another video to let us, unless they might have him under a contract where he can't speak.
Yeah.
Like, he can go and do these speeches at these private venues. Like, that video is somebody holding up a phone.
Yeah.
Televised. He could do things like that. But if he was to go on somebody's show, I mean, Fox could have him silenced. I would like to know these things. I want to know, how much freedom does he actually have? Are they keeping a boot on him till after the election? How long is this going to last? Are they paying him out? Is he fired? Was it mutual?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They did him dirty. But he could go anywhere. He could just start his own podcast. I mean, it would just be insane. It would be the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
Is he taking time now to enjoy his family? He'll talk here and there. I think he sent a message to CPAC in Ukraine, not in Ukraine, in Hungary, didn't he?
He did. He said 30, 40 seconds, short message to them. Said, but I think he did that before he was removed, saying, if
because
he
it was on his set.
Yeah, but he said, if I'm ever sacked, then I will be with you. And then he's sacked.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Anything that he was to do now, he could get sued by Fox because he's under contract.
Yeah.
You know, that they get you. They get you. You sign your life away.
Yeah.
Or you renegotiate, but they could have him on hold for 6 or 9 more months. I mean, it's not like he's going to starve to death. But you got to think of politically where we are.
Yeah.
He was a huge voice that we needed. And nobody on Fox is going to fill that hole. So that's why, you know, we go the independent route and we all support each other.
Yeah.
And just keep supporting each other, like what you do. Me with, you know, my kooky videos and my memes and stuff. Everybody, keep the pressure on. Keep laughing at them. Keep throwing that holy water.
Yeah.
Exposing these demons that need to be eradicated from our world.
Yeah.
Because they will not stop. They will never stop. They will never give up. They're dug in. Now, are we going to be like all the rhinos of the past and the ones that want to move in now because there's a void there? And we're going to roll over and show our bellies and say, oh, give you a little scratch. Yeah, it's okay. Let it be like that. No. We've been fighting for too long to give up now. Way too long. We can, please. Giving up, it shouldn't even be a thought.
Can I just finish just 2 or 3 minutes just on this? I just want to throw it in on the US military. And Steve had posted this, which Daily Mail story, but the Navy is 8,000 recruits short because red-blooded Americans don't want to join a freak show. Not sure this Navy is ready to defeat the CCP fleet in a gun battle in the South China Seas. I mean, the last thing you need for your recruitment campaign for the military is a bloke dressing up as a woman, and somehow someone somewhere has decided this is the way to fix your military shortfall. Steve calls it out perfectly. It is a freak show.
Well, there's someone that is friends with that Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah.
Because they used to work together on the Book of Mormon. They were like theater kids together or something.
Yeah.
And they just put out a TikTok video showing this old movie. And it also had Ronald Reagan in it, where all the men dressed up like women. And this was to raise money for the military. And because of this old movie that this guy found, he says, what Dylan's doing and what the Navy is doing is all right, because look, there's even a child in the audience. And I'm like, no. That was different, because all those men that put on a woman's dress and did some camp, okay, they all went home to their wives.
Yeah.
If they didn't get blown up in the war. Okay. There's a big difference. Okay. Everyone knew it was just a play acting. Remember, you want to go back even further? Shakespeare. Plays that were performed way, way back in the day. All the performers had to be male.
Yeah.
And the men played the women's roles. Okay? So there's this drag thing that you're doing, the hyper-sexualized, yes, oh, all right? That's not what that old movie did. It was a bunch of men dressed up in these hokey old lady dresses. Okay, you had Milton Berle. That was part of his shtick, was dressing up as an ugly old woman. Okay, there's the comedy part, and then there's this over-sexualized nonsense that's being pushed.
Mm.
So don't show me an old movie with Ronald Reagan of a bunch of our military guys dressed up as women and compare it to the nonsense that's being portrayed now. This hypersexualization, these guys, doing splits and big rubber boobies with nipples in the kids' faces.
Yeah. Okay.
The heavy makeup. Drag is an art. Drag is a nightclub thing. It's like going to see a stripper at a pole dancing thing. That was drag. And now you got these really low budget drag performers going to kids' schools. And a lot of them have been arrested for kiddie porn.
Yeah.
They got their junk hanging out. Their costumes are low budget. You got professional drag performers saying, stop this nonsense. It's embarrassing. We don't stand for this. We don't go to kids. Who is it? Jesse Waters had a drag performer on his show and said that this is horrible. I don't stand for this. When I go out to the club, I don't want kids crying in the background. I want to have my mimosa and see a show.
Yep.
And that's my thing. But now I don't know, what is it with the kids?
I know.
There's something really, and I don't want to say evil, because a lot, I hate to think that everyone's evil, but there's an evil agenda going on with this, a very evil agenda, and it's towards the kids.
Yeah.
And they started off, how you start with soft porn, and then, you get addicted, and it has to get harder and harder to get more clicks or get more outrage. They're using it as a tool to get an outrage mob going on both sides, for and against.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen the manifesto of the trans murderer.
Yeah.
None of those family members were invited to the White House, but the 3 insurrectionists were.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought it was also very funny. One of the insurrectionists, the guy with the bullhorn, was out in front of the correspondence dinner in a tuxedo with the bullhorn, yelling at the people coming in, the reporters for climate change and get rid of big oil. Here's all the people that stuck up for this little maggot, and he's yelling with the bullhorn in their face.
Wow. Karli, I'll bring us into a close. As I said at the beginning, I feel bad taking out of your time on posting nonstop. Great having you on. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Well, this afternoon with you, this evening with us.
Oh, this is wonderful. I couldn't believe you invited me because I'm such a goofball. And I always watch your videos, and you have very serious people on. I'm like, what the hell does he want me on for? I am like goofy, and my eyes are wacky, and I just make memes and stuff. But this was wonderful. I hope everyone enjoyed my goofiness, and listen, enjoy the rest of your celebration over there. I pray for you, and I pray for your country just as hard as I pray for mine right now.
They both need prayer. They really
Yes.
do. They really do. No, but I would love your memes. Absolutely love them. And that's where we win this battle, using the power of media and memes, using humor. That's how you get people, and that's how you connect to people. So thank you for what you do. And Midnight Rider channel, love it on Telegram. So thank you. Let me finish off with our viewers. Thank you for tuning in, wherever you are, however you're watching. Great to have you with us. Obviously, if you didn't know Karli before, then all the links are on the screen there, on Getter, on Truth, on Twitter, and at Real Karli Bonne on Telegram. So make sure and follow her. Or if you're listening on the go after, thank you for joining us. So I wish you all a wonderful rest of your weekend. And we'll be back with you on Monday with Tom Fitton from Judicial Watch.
Oh, he's my favorite.
He's so good. I met him when I was over, just CPAC and then before. And I love what Judicial Watch do. Just the power of using those freedom of information on the government. So he'll be with us on Monday.
He's another patriot that he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. Like, I don't know when he finds the time to lift weights and keep up that Superman bod with all the work that he does.
I know.
I get the newsletter.
25 years he's been president of Judicial Watch, and it's a phenomenal organization. So he'll be with us on Monday. So on that, I'll wish our viewers a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll be with you on Monday. Thank you for joining us.